Hello students, welcome back to a new video of Sunanda's tutorial. In this video, we will discuss about the chapter reproduction in organisms. So it is particularly for plus 2 second year students, those who have their plus 2 board examination in February. So it is very important chapter of your biology. So let's start. At first, reproduction. What is reproduction? So living organisms have some unique characteristic features which make them living. For example, growth. Secondly, reproduction. They breathe. They respond to the external stimuli. So reproduction is the phenomenon which help them to maintain their continuity on the earth, and it is a biological process of perennation or continuation of a species from generation to generation. There is a great diversity in living world in their method of reproduction. Some species reproduce by asexual method, some reproduce by sexual method. So there There are two types of reproduction method. One is asexual reproduction, one is sexual reproduction. So in case of asexual reproduction, single parent is involved. There is no involvement of both the parents. In case of sexual reproduction, both parents are involved, producing gametes, male gamete and female gamete. But in case of asexual reproduction, a single parent is involved. So generally, the offspring which are produced from a single parent through asexual reproduction is called as clone, because they are exactly like their parents. In case of asexual reproduction, single parent is involved. There is no gamete formation, no fertilization, no meiosis. But in case of sexual reproduction, both the parents are involved. They produce gametes, male gamete and female gamete. Fertilization takes place. Both the gametes fuse with each other to produce zygote. Then zygote grow to form embryo. Then from embryo, new individual is formed. So this is basic difference between the sexual and asexual reproduction. Next, you can also add one, two examples of asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is seen in case of bacteria, amoeba, next Hydra, Spirogyra. They show asexual reproduction, and sexual reproduction is seen in flowering plant, angiosperms, human being. Okay, so you can add one, two examples of those reproduction methods. Okay, next, types of asexual reproduction. So broad types of asexual in reproduction involves fission, fragmentation, budding, vegetative propagation, which is seen in plants, then regeneration, which is called as fragmentation, then spore formation. So fission is seen in case of bacteria and amoeba, where the mother cell or the parent cell divide, simply divide to form daughter cells. Fission can be of two types. One is binary fission, one is multiple fission. In case of binary fission, the parent cell divide to form two daughter cells. Two daughter cells. It is seen in case of bacteria. Generally in bacteria mostly reproduce by this binary fission. And also amoeba show this type of reproduction. Their cells divide into two to form two cells. So that condition is called as binary fission. But sometimes their cell divide into many cells. From one cell, many cells are formed. That condition is called as multiple fission. Okay. So basically, in case of fission, from one parent cell, Many cells are formed in the process of multiple fission. When two cells are formed, called as binary fission. Next is fragmentation. Fragmentation is the process where it is a type of asexual reproduction where the parent body fragment to form pieces, small pieces, and each piece again regenerate to form new organism. The breakage may be due to accidental, it may be accidental due to some unfavorable condition, and every broken part is developed as a new individual. Okay, so this type of reproduction is commonly seen in case of Spirogyra. This process also called as regeneration. Okay, regeneration. Then bonding. Bonding is a process where it is typically seen in a fungus, unicellular fungus, Saccharomyces yeast. So they generally propagate by this method. So an outgrowth is formed at peripheral region of a parent cell, which are called as bud. Into that bud, nucleus along with some cytoplasm from mother cell migrate. This causes the daughter cells to enlarge in size. It remains attached to the mother cell by narrow neck. Gradually, it loses contact from the mother and grows detached from the mother cell or the parent cell and grow as a new organism. It is generally seen in case of yeast and hydra. Next, regeneration. Regeneration means generally from the parent cell, one part is detached and they grow as a new organism. That condition is called as regeneration. From every broken part, new individual is formed. Next is spore formation. Some organism produce spore like zoospore, chlamydospore. Generally, fungi produce this spore. They generally reproduce through spore formation. Okay. Next is vegetative propagation. So vegetative propagation is commonly seen in plants. Okay, so we can also propagate plants vegetatively. There are some natural methods, some artificial method. Uh, we can reproduce plant through potato tuber. Then bryophyllum can be propagated through leaf, ginger through their rhizome, agave through their bulbil, then water hyacinth through offset, onion through their bulbs, oxalis through runner, colocasia through comb, jasmine through stolon. But there are some artificial methods we can do for the vegetative propagation of plant. One is stem cutting. Simply we can cut the stem and we can propagate in other place and new plant can be developed. In case of rose, in case of sugarcane. Another method is layering. Jasmine. In case of jasmine, we can bend the stem and to the land, and then we can then a new plant can be developed from that bent part. So roots here are artificially induced to grow on the branches before they are detached from the parent plant. So there are many different types of layering. One is serpentine layering. Branches at lower portion of the stem are put in the soil at many places to form new plant from them. One is called mound layering, where soft branches are selected and a ring of epidermal layer is removed. This part is pegged in the soil with artificial portion remaining outside. After some time, adventitious roots are developed. When the ringed portion is cut off to allow new plant grow independently. One is air layering, where ring of bark is removed, then covered by grafting clay with little amount of root inducing promoter. The entire portion is wrapped with polythene bandage. After a time, some roots are developed. Then they are separated and grow as a new plant. So, this process is called as layering. Another process is called grafting. Okay, so by this process, a detached part of one plant is inserted into the stem or root system of another plant. The former detached part is called scion and latter part is called stalk. The grafted portion is covered by grafting wax to avoid infection. The scion becomes the part of plant into which it is grafted, and new plant developed bear flower and fruit characteristic of scion. Okay. So mango, rose, orange, guava are generally propagated by this grafting method. So now what is sexual reproduction, where both the gametes are involved? In case of sexual reproduction, gametes are involved, male gamete, female gamete, they fuse with each other to produce a new individual. So there are some events or phases of sexual reproduction. One is pre-fertilization event or pre-fusion event. What is pre-fertilization events? That means at first gametogenesis, that means gamete formation, formation of male gamete, formation of female gamete or egg. Next is gamete transfer. Male gametes are transferred to female gamete for the fusion. Next phase is actually fertilization or fusion of male and female gamete. Next is post fertilization events, zygote formation, and second is embryogenesis, formation of embryo from the zygote. So there are three phases of sexual reproduction. Okay. So it is all about your chapter reproduction in organisms. Okay. In my next class, I will discuss another chapter of your plus 2 second year botany course. So please stay tuned and please like my video, share with your other friends, and please subscribe to my channel Sunanda's Tutorial. Thank you.